Have you ever started a new habit only to find it slips away after a few days or weeks? Maybe it was a workout routine, a healthy eating plan, or a new morning ritual. At first, you felt motivated, but over time, life got in the way, and before you knew it, the habit was gone. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, research shows that nearly 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February. But here's the thing, it's not because you lack willpower or discipline. It's because most of us don't understand how habits really form in the brain and what makes them stick for the long term. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating science of habit formation and give you simple, practical strategies to build habits that actually last. Let's start with what a habit really is. A habit is a behavior that becomes automatic, something you do without thinking much about it. Brushing your teeth, driving a familiar route, checking your phone first thing in the morning, these are all habits. At the core of every habit is what scientists call the habit loop, which has three parts. 1. Cue or trigger, something that prompts the behavior. This could be a time of day, a location, an emotional state, or even another behavior. 2. Routine, the habit itself, the behavior you perform in response to the cue. 3. Reward, the positive outcome that reinforces the habit and makes you want to do it again. For example, cue, you feel bored. Routine, you scroll on social media. Reward, you feel entertained or distracted. Over time, this loop becomes hardwired in your brain, and that's what makes a habit stick. So what's going on inside your brain when you form a habit? Habits are built in a part of the brain called the basal ganglia, an ancient structure involved in movement, learning, and pattern recognition. When you first start a new behavior, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for conscious decision-making, is heavily involved. You have to think about what you're doing. But with enough repetition, control of the behavior shifts to the basal ganglia, and it becomes automatic. You no longer have to think about brushing your teeth or driving a familiar route. It's stored as a habit. This is incredibly efficient. Habits free up mental energy so your brain can focus on other things. But it also means that once a habit is formed, it can be hard to break, whether it's good or bad. Many people try to change habits through willpower alone, by forcing themselves to behave differently. But willpower is like a muscle, it gets tired. Studies show that the more you rely on willpower, the more likely you are to give in to temptation later in the day. The key to lasting change is to design your environment and your habit loop so that the behavior becomes automatic, requiring little or no willpower at all. How long does it take to build a habit? You've probably heard the saying that it takes 21 days to form a habit. But the truth is more complex. A famous study from University College London found that on average, it takes about 66 days for a new behavior to become automatic. And the range is wide. For some simple habits, it might take just a few weeks. For more complex ones, it can take several months. The key takeaway, consistency matters more than speed. Focus on showing up consistently even if your progress feels slow. So how do you build habits that last? Here are a few science-backed tips. 1. Start small. Many people try to change too much too fast. Instead, start with a small, manageable version of the habit. Want to start exercising? Commit to just 5 minutes a day. Once the habit is established, you can gradually increase it. 2. Tie it to an existing habit. One of the best ways to build a new habit is to attach it to something you already do, a concept known as habit stacking. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 1 minute. This leverages existing neural pathways to make the new habit easier to adopt. 3. Make the cue obvious. Design your environment to support your habit. If you want to drink more water, put a glass on your desk. If you want to practice guitar, leave it where you can see it. 4. Make the reward satisfying. Your brain is wired to repeat behaviors that feel rewarding. Celebrate small wins, track your progress, Enjoy the feeling of accomplishment. 5. Be patient with yourself. Habit formation is not a straight line. There will be setbacks. What matters is that you keep coming back to the habit loop. Remember, consistency beats perfection. What about breaking bad habits? The science is clear. You can't simply erase a habit, but you can replace it. The cue and reward will still exist, so the key is to insert a healthier routine. For example, cue, you feel stressed. Old routine, eat junk food. New routine, go for a short walk or practice deep breathing. Over time, the new routine can become the default response. Final thoughts. Habits are powerful. They shape who you are and what you do, often without you even realizing it. The good news, you have the power to shape your habits and by doing so, shape your life. By understanding how habits work, designing smart habit loops, and practicing consistency, you can build behaviors that stick and let go of the ones that no longer serve you. So, the next time you think about changing your habits, remember this. It's not about willpower. It's about design. It's about small steps repeated consistently. And it's about building the brain pathways that support the life you want to live. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Science and Psychology for more insights into how your brain works and how to use it better. What habit are you trying to build right now? Share it in the comments. We'd love to hear your journey. Thanks for watching, and remember, change your habits, change your life.